Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into OpenAI's new GPT OSS model, which is nothing but open weight model, which is released when you compare like over 5 years, they released GPT-2, and this is the GPT open source model. And there is a two open weight LLMs that represent a major milestone, and OpenAI has officially released a ChatGPT style of model which can be downloaded with the weight since 2019. That's the one because the OpenAI community is growing big, and Sam Altman wanted to anybody to freely access and fine tune and run these models locally without having any proprietary APIs or services. That's amazing. But if I look at it, there is a huge competition in OpenAI with Kimi, DeepSeek, and Meta, and that's where Sam wants to keep his OpenAI model to publicly available to start downloading, which has an open license and fine tuning and deploying it. And this is no longer tied to the OpenAI's cloud-based APIs, and you can literally control over to your local. And most important, it supports chain of thought reasoning, which is gonna give you the deeper reasoning structure of thinking capabilities, which have open 3 mini and open O4 mini model. And it has various ways for low, high, and medium deep kind of a thinking ones. And strategically, this is aiming to position the GPT OS to compete the open models such as I said, the DeepSeek, Meta, Kimi, and in terms of the open source land space. Two variants, 120 billion and 20 billion. Let's go and understand this. So when I understand the technical specification, the model has total 170 billion parameter and active 5.1 billion parameters, which is lesser, but when it compared to the faster response and the hardware they use it with single 100 GPU for GPT 120 and less than 16 GB if you're gonna choose a GPT 20 billions one, and it's designed to run on a single GPU and making advanced AI capability and accessing into the organization's wise. The technical innovation which we talks about, like they done with the size in terms of like fine tuning this because they have made low, medium, high settings, and I'm gonna show you how it's gonna looks like when you are interacting with GPT OS, the open weight, because the reason wise they kept it those things, but that allow you to how the model has to think deeper and give you this information. And its framework is Transformer and Olama and LLM Studio, and it's open source, which has a Apache 2.0 licensing part of it. It it has the greatness like it has you can run into the low GPU. That's where I feel it like it has a kind of a edge because I see the faster response how it's gonna give to it. And why I call this as a strategic way they are placing in the market because they see there is a competition and in terms of like utilizing the API business, and they want them to maintain the control on the ecosystem. That's where they comes up with the two variants and how it's going to help the community people like us as developer, and it's going to gives us a kind of a choice of like deep reasoning, and it is going to be help us to launch a kind of like a more uh, reasoning model with a faster frequency within your organization. And what is a comparison? I wanted to do it into the other open sources. Like it has similar architecture with GLM 4.5, which is like 32 billion and 5.1. And Chinese model, it it's kind of like it wanted to utilize most of the US organization to utilize OpenAI sort of like DeepSeek and Chinese one, and it's competing with Metaloma because that's where the OpenAI wanted to see is like more kind of like focus in recent time how Meta is acquiring the um, AI brains to work and build the most robotic AI in open source. The water industry is like this move actually improve the kind of like a competition, right? So it is gonna be helpful for us because it's gonna gives you more geopolitical balance, and they place in the market in a nice kind of like when it's gonna comes to us. And let's see like what gonna be into the future. This is like the safety protocol is good into the open source and technical um, evolutions of that. But let me go and give you a glimpse how this is gonna be run in a real time to towards it. Okay, it's time to play with the open source one, and you can start downloading the both 120 billion and 20 billion parameter. You can run on your device. You can run onto the higher end of that one. As I informed earlier, they kept the reasoning with high, medium, and low, and you can start signing with Hugging Face and started using the interface of that. But let me see how it's gonna solve the basic problem. How many hours in a strawberry? And it take couple of seconds to answer it. And it has given me because I have chosen into the higher one. Let me see it into the lower kind of reasoning. How many seconds it's gonna give me the answer. So it gives me in a couple of seconds. Now I wanted to bit complicate this one. Let's play tic tac toe because the reason is like the reasoning is autonomous, and I wanted to see is like how well they're gonna playing with me. I will say like I will start with one. So go with four. Oh, it's playing smartly, right? It's thinking into the different patterns and keeping into the place in the one, right? And it doesn't allow me to uh, do anything, right? So it started like playing within that. It's so funny, right? I don't think these models are in terms of like give you the kind of like text reasoning, but when you start playing those games that are done with AI, they're still not competitive enough. But I hope you like, and I'm gonna share all these descriptions, so you can start play with the GPT or as the open wide, and let me know how you are gonna what kind of applications you are building it. And thanks for watching, and please